Hello everyone. This is Dr. Awati Sumia, an assistant teacher at the University of Constantine I Brothers Venturi. In this short video, I'm just going to explain the content of the whole module of this academic year. Concerning we have the module is written expression. In this module, this year, second year, we're gonna have two chapters. So as you all know, we have 2 semesters. We are going to have 2 chapters. So for the first semester, we are going to deal with the first chapter. And for the second semester, we are going to deal with the second chapter. Speaking about first chapter, that is entitled Basic Structure of an Essay. In this chapter, in this semester, students will they will know the basic elements of an essay. What is the structure of an essay? So, first of all, we are going to deal with the definition of an essay, because as you all know, last year you have been dealing with how to write a paragraph and what composes a paragraph. And now we are going to deal with how to write an essay. An essay, as you all know, is a group of paragraphs. So if you don't know how to write a paragraph, it is going to be a little bit difficult for you how to write an essay. So basically, we are going to define what is an essay. Once we are acquainted with the elements and the definition of an essay, we are going to go into details. Okay, so basically we have 3 main components of an essay, which are we have an introductory paragraph, body paragraphs, and the concluding paragraph. So we are going to deal with each component, each element separately in details. We're going to have the introductory paragraph that has 3 parts. That are, we have the hook, the background, and the thesis statement. In the whole essay, the very most important element is the thesis statement. And even for the thesis statement, we are going to deal with it in details because basically we're not going to start directly with a hook and a background, but we're going to start with the thesis statements because later on I will explain to you how to plan and how to write an essay. Okay, so I think the best way to start writing an essay is to start with the thesis statement. It's like it's like that, as if like you have a map, and the very first thing that you need to check is the thesis statement. You see, your teacher, the very first thing that is looking for in your essay is your thesis statement, because it's going to work as a guide, because it contains 3 main components that are, we have the opinion, the topic, and the subtopics. So if you're not going to write it correctly, you're going to have a problem. Your teacher is going to suffer, and even for you it's going to be a little bit difficult to write a correct academic scientific essay. Next, we have the second components is body paragraphs. So basically we're going to have more than 1 paragraph. It's going to be maybe 2 or 3, and so these paragraphs, they are going to deal with each subtopic separately. So again, we are always going to we go back to your thesis statements because we have the subtopics. So each subtopics, it's going to be developed separately in a separate body paragraph. And here, if you don't know how to write a paragraph, I mean, because you have dealt with it last year, also it's going to be a huge problem. So basically we're going to define what is a body paragraph, and also we're going to deal with the components of a paragraph, one separate one that has a topic sentence, supporting sentences, and we have a concluding sentence. The final part and final components of an essay is the concluding paragraph. So for the concluding paragraph, obviously it's going to be the final part of an essay, where in this part, like I always advise my students to consider like the reader with the short memories. We are going to also here we have three main parts. We have the reformulation of a thesis statement. It's like you're going to remind the reader what you have been writing and what has been going on before. And so it's just like it's here. I will say something at the end, but first, before it's what is a concluding paragraph? It's a reformulation of your thesis statement, and please try to avoid like to rewrite it word by word. You can paraphrase it or use other words. Also, it's a reformulation of your topic sentences. So if you have three body paragraphs, you're going to have a reformulation of just the topic sentences, the three topic sentences, and a concluding sentence. That can be an advice, or like maybe it can be a sentence that's it's going to be a suggestion for another topic, or like for the reader if he wants to like tackle another aspect of your topic. See, so it can be an advice or a suggestion as you want. Yes, always try in concerning the concluding paragraph, always try to avoid adding details. No details. If you have any particular detail, please include it in your body paragraphs. In the concluding sentence, no details, no extra details. So this is basically concerning your first chapter. So we're going to deal with this in the whole first semester. Once we're done with the first semester, with the first exam, move into the second semester and directly move in with the second chapter. For the second chapter, we are going to deal with one particular type of an essay. So in the first semester, we dealt with the basic structure of an essay. But here, even for an essay, to write a particular essay, we have other types. We have different types. We have narrative, descriptive, argumentative, and for the type that we are going to deal with for this semester, this year, second year, is particularly the expository essay. So for the expository essay, we're going to define what is an expository essay, because if we don't know the difference between, like the student needs to know the difference between an expository essay and a narrative essay, descriptive essay, and the argumentative essay. So for the expository essay, it is an objective essay, and we need to know what is the main goal of the expository essay. The goal that is like to provide good examples and so on and so forth. So we need to define, and we know what is the purpose of this particular essay. Once we are done with the definition, we are going to move to types of expository essay. We have other types, not only these three, but the three main types that you see on the screen. We have other types, but we are just going to deal with these three main types of the expository type, if I can say. So we have different types. We have the exemplification type, we have compare and contrast, cause and effect, and we are going to like deal with them separately in details. But the only thing that you need to keep in mind concerning these three types, that they have something in common, of course, that is how to provide examples. So this is the very main point that you need to know, that is like the thing that is in common between all these three different types. So basically, this is just going to be the content of the second semester. Thank you so much for watching, and see you.